Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48th World, where we do recaps and reviews on soap operas as well as reality shows, etc., etc., etc. First of all, before I go into my recap of The Young and the Restless that aired on May 3rd, Tuesday, 2016. Eastern Standard Time at 3 o'clock. I wanted to let you guys know of me and my daughter's channel. It's called SNS Let's Talk About It. It's a dual channel that we do together, and we give our perspectives on reality shows and other commentary. If you're interested, please go over, check out a few videos. If it entertains you, please like and subscribe. My daughter also has a channel that she does individually. Her channel name is Starr Kraziness, and it's Starrj.Kraziness, Kraziness. She has an audience that is geared from 18 to probably 35. She's 25, so a lot of people go over to watch her channel far as hot topics and other type of commentary that focuses on celebrity news, gossip, as well as local news that affects everybody in society, especially in our community in Atlanta, but then she goes all over the 50 states, wherever she can find informational news, where it's talking about social issues, entertainment issues, or political issues. She covers that. So thank you for always coming and looking and subscribing and liking videos on my channel. I really appreciate you all. I just wanted to give y'all FYI on another channel that I am also co-hosting with my daughter, as well as shouting out her channel to push more subscribers her way as well. So thank you. Now let's get into today's episode of The Young and the Restless that aired on today, Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016 at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time zone. Okay, just to give you a little bit of summary of today's episode, this is what they gave us in caption. Victor spars with Jack, Billy challenges Phyllis, and Victoria seeks solace from the drama in her life. Okay, of course, you know, we're always recapping from last episode, and that's pretty much Paul Williams is on the heels of trying to find out the mental stability of Sage's demeanor when she left Sharon's house prior to her having, you know, the fatality of her life in a car accident. So he's still trying to drill her. Dylan trying to get her off of him, etc., etc., etc. So the first scene of today's episode goes into Chelsea and Adam. Adam is thinking Sage found out that he switched the paternity test, and she knew that he did it, and that he was the father of Christian, and that she was wanting to confront him about this information. However, Chelsea is saying, no, I don't think she did find out, or she would have left you a more detailed message that she said she found out. I think you're just anxious, and you're just looking for some type of answers for the demise of Sage. And, you know, she tries to calm him down, but he's not really hearing it. He's still pacing back and forth, trying to make sense of her death. We leave that scene, we go to Nicholas. Nicholas is still unleashing his great fury of his grief and anger on the car that Sage was driving to get some type of release or frustration out on it. Even though it wasn't the car, it was just, I wouldn't say fate, because really Sage shouldn't have been driving that reckless as far as the speed, and then she definitely shouldn't have been picking up no cell phone trying to get it to either make another call or just put it on the seat. She shouldn't have taken her eyes off the road, because she was already emotional and she was crying. So that is a mixture of, along with the speed, was a bad mixture for things to come in a negative aspect. So you know, he was just basically thinking if he would have spent more time with her, this, that, and the other, you know, he was just beating that car up. I was like, Nicholas. Then he finally stopped, and he noticed that he had injured his hand, and that blood was, you know, oozing from it. But we go from there, we go back to Paul Williams, Dylan, and Sharon. Paul is going over with Dylan why he is drilling Sharon for Sage's state of mind when she left her, because it is a piece of evidence that he can determine her state of mind. What made her get in that car? What made her travel that particular speed? What was she so excited about getting to go see Adam, because that was her last place call? You know, it's just not making up sense. And I think Sharon knows more than what she's saying. You know, and I'm trying to just go over every little piece, because she left out the piece that Sage was coming from her house when I had met her on the accident scene. So I'm not understanding. She may be what do you call it, digressing or regressing other information, and he just needs to get it out so he can give Nicholas some answers about his wife's demise, because he needs to know this so he can put it behind him and accept the fact that she's gone. It was a stupid, you know, accident, and it didn't have to happen, but it did. And you know, but he needs to know all the facts. So we leave that scene, we go to Victoria. Victoria is listening. She's back at her favorite bar again to soak in her misery. And I think she's really trying to go peep at that little bartender named Travis. So she goes in. She goes to her favorite jukebox. She plays the little tune or diddly she likes, These Shiny Things, or something like that. And then the bartender is glad to see her because he comes over and talks to her on the sly. But anyway, we leave that scene. We go to Billy and Phyllis. They're at the athletic club, and Phyllis is asking Billy, has he talked to Victoria? Because, you know, her brother's deceased wife has died. And he's like, no, I hadn't talked to her. I don't think she want to see me since the whole takeover, or her first company she actually produced and owned, and it profited real well for the Newman Enterprises organization her dad heads up, and I don't think she want to see me. So we move from that scene, we go to Jack and Victor. Jack is visiting Victor in jail to see if he knew about his daughter-in-law being deceased. And of course, you know how they always says, prisoners have all the outside information before we even know it's going to happen or it had happened. So they're the first to know. So Victor like, man, I might be locked up in jail, but I do get the word on the street. Okay, I got ears everywhere and eyes everywhere. I know. Now, why are you really here? So basically, he's telling Victor that, you know, that we really need to stop all this bickering amongst our families. There's too much tragedy between your family and my family. And with Sage's death, we all should be reminded of how life is, you know, it can expire at any given time. Life is so precious. We need to basically be having a unified front together, so we can bring our families together, because we are intertwined. Your daughter is, you know, my brother's ex-wife. You know, they were married at one time. They have children. They still love each other. That's very evident. And we need to try to get them back together. And with you trying to lure Billy in, which you did, to get him to buy Victoria's first company, it's just like a stab in the back, and this, that, and the other. And they go at it back and forth. We leave that. We go to commercial. We come back. We're on Victoria and the bartender Travis. Victoria is got her little heart, oozing towards liking the bartender. She's kind of nice, nasty with her straightforward answers back to the bartender. When he's trying to find some intuition about why she's there or what she's really brewing over, this, that, and that, he takes it for a fact that it's the guy. He ain't really half bad, even though Victoria shuts him down and says, you need to work on your intuition because you're way off base. But he really wasn't. Victoria does still have feelings for her ex-husband, and she's just mad about all the transpiring of buying her company, this, that, and the other, that has separated them. And both of them are both headstrong and wants to have their way. So basically, she just go on and, pretty much downplay that. She just said she had a bad day at work, this, that, and that. She's playing herself as some type of executive secretary and this, that, and the other. And she has renamed herself Tori. Okay, what the hell is Victoria thinking? And why is she flirting? Okay, I have no idea, but she knows what she's doing, but we're going to keep watching her. We move on to Jack and Victor. Jack is there still trying to convince Victor, let's stop poisoning our family members against each other, and let's try to put these little birds back together. Of course, Victor is giving him the 411 and say, you need to be paying attention to people in your family that's going to be stabbing you in the back. And of course, Jack doesn't get the hint or anything. But, when Victor's trying to throw out subliminal messages, he's trying to give you a point of reference. Mr. Jack, you need to be taking hint at what he's saying. But anyway, it goes over Jack's head. But I'm sure it'll come to pass when he gets into that Bermuda Triangle between Billy, him, and his wife Phyllis. Okay. Anyway, we move on. We're at Phyllis and Billy again. They're still talking at the athletic club. Phyllis is still trying to convince Billy to go over there and see Victoria. He know they still have feelings for each other. She's oozing it all up, filling Billy's head, this, that, and the other. Billy go on and take her advice after he gives her some advice to take on her own, that she needs to be working on her relationship with his brother Jack. He's basically saying, okay, you giving me all this wealth of information, but you still love my brother too. So why are you here with me singing the blues? I think you need to be taking your own advice, don't you? So they pretty much like, okay, I will work on it together, and separately we'll get our things straightened out. But anyway, he leaves her. He thanks her for all her help. He goes over to seek Victoria, and pretty much she goes try to get in touch with Jack to see if they both can come to a meeting of the minds. Okay, we go on to Chelsea and Adam. Well, both of them are trying to convince each other that Sage did not know anything about them or what do you call it, Adam switching paternity tests. They both trying to secure each other. And Chelsea's really making, she's trying to make Adam see that he has nothing to be faulted for Sage's death. It was a tragic accident. It had nothing to do with him. And she's really much telling him the truth, because Sage didn't know nothing. I don't know what. I think she was just trying to say how Sharon had tried to pull a wool over her eyes, this, that, and the other. And she got the truth from Nurse Stevenson about what Dr. Anderson had did to Sharon and made up all these lies, but her baby is actually alive. So that's all I think she's pretty much trying to tell him, because like I said, and one of my good friends, Deborah, who follows me, she's an avid Bold and a Beautiful watcher, as well as a Young and Restless watcher, and she gave me the 411 on it, so I thank her for that. So we move on for Sharon and Dylan. Well, we move on to Sharon and Dylan. Sharon is asking Paul, why was Sage talking on her cell phone while she was driving? Don't she know that is a health hazard, that she can cause accidents? And of course, it actually was a fatality on her part that she played in her own demise. Of course, she got all this information for Dylan, because Paul looking confused, like, how do you know? So Dylan had to jump in to support her, that he told her of the information that should have been just confidential between officer and chief. But I don't know, maybe you can spill your guts, especially when the person's dead. So I guess evidence is evidence, you know what I'm saying, however you perceive it. But then Sharon pretty much started trying to have her own investigation inquiry, thinking it's going to get her out the loop, and she's going to try to throw blame on somebody else. So she's looking for a scapegoat so she don't have to come clean of what she know or what she thinks she knows. Okay, because Dylan is not the father, we do know. We thought Nicholas was the father, but that ain't so. So yes, she's trying to see why was Sage trying to get a hold of Adam. We don't know. Okay, but we do know, us viewing in. So, Dylan still goes in the policy. Okay, why you still trying to be mean to my wife? She done told y'all she know this, that, and the other. And of course, he has to go round and about in a rounded way to tell Dylan, look, it's just police protocol. You should know this 101 etiquette. You know where I'm going with this. So, pretty much, Paul started questioning Sharon again, and why she believed, what she believes Sage was probably trying to call Adam for. Of course, Sharon makes up some dumb excuse because she's tired of being on the hot seat. She says she got to go check on her baby Sully, so she excuses herself. And then pretty much it goes to a commercial. We come back from commercial. We go into Dylan and Paul. Paul is telling Dylan he's just trying to establish a time frame, a timeline. Paul said he needs to know what was going through Sage's mind. That is all. He's not trying to make Sharon not no scapegoat. He's not trying to say she's guilty or something. He is just trying to find the facts so he can definitely be able to give to Nicholas so he could get this, off his mind, because he's full of questions, no answers. Do you get my point, Dylan? You would want the same thing done if it happened to you on that way. So Dylan pretty much understands and he backs off. So we go from that scene to Nicholas and the tow guy. Nicholas done kicked that car to death. Okay, he don't put it to death. When the tow guy arrives, and he's trying to figure out who Nicholas is, but Nicholas ain't saying nothing, like he's in a freaking daze or something. So, the tow truck driver try to find all the information. Nick still is just being silent. He gets up from the scene and he gets to walking. The man said, wait a minute, you believe that you need some help? I can take you to the nearest hospital or whatever. I can help you out. Nick look at him like he crazy. He goes up under the caution tape where the accident was taped off so nobody would get injured or hurt, or they would know it's an incident that happened, so don't come any further. And he walks on down the street. So I'm thinking, God damn, where did Nicholas come from? I don't know, but his house must have been real close. Who knows? Anyway, we go to Chelsea and Adam again. Adam is totally blaming himself and comparing himself to his dad, Victor, about keeping lies, being deceitful, being totally dishonest about everything, changing records to suit whatever he wants to do, just breaking the law pretty much. And he's saying he get it all from his dad. He don't know what the hell is going on with him. So we go to Jack and Victor. Jack is getting on Victor like white on rice. He's telling him he has no morals. Victor is saying, look at your family. Meaning he was talking about look at Billy and Phyllis, because they're going to be the one stabbing his behind in the back. He's saying stop looking elsewhere for the answers that you're seeking from me and look in your own family, because there's a secret there. So Jack leaves. He getting tired of Victor's little Klondike type of, artistry where he's trying to mess with his mind, or he thinks he's trying to mess with his mind. But he's actually trying to school Jack a little bit, but Jack ain't hearing it. So we leave there, we go to Phyllis and Billy. Phyllis is still telling Billy to go see Victoria. She needs him. He's telling Phyllis if she can fix Victoria and him, then it still may be hope for her and his brother. So Billy leaves. He calls himself going to see Victoria. Commercial. Then we come back from commercial. We have Victoria calling herself Tori. She's at the bar with Travis. They're both talking about, dads and this, that, and the other. She goes in to say she has this mean dad, and she's listening to this country song on the jukebox playing in the background. And Travis is trying to help Victoria, look at the brighter side of things. She even comparing him to the man that's at the bar that, wants to see. We're comparing him to, like, he has to come to somewhere slummy and feel important because he's over these type of people. And, just giving him comparison that life could be a little bit more detrimental than it probably is with her. He wanting her to pep up and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of working just a tad bit. We leave there, we go to Nicholas. Nicholas is at the Newman's office, or his dad's office. And he is sitting looking at his dad's picture. He's telling his dad, the curse, how, his dad wanted everything to break down and become, chaos in their family. He goes in to say his mother done started drinking because of him. He's saying Victoria and Billy, you done brought a wedge between them because you had Billy buy out brash and sass, and that would hurt Victoria. Then Sage is dead, and just everything. And he's just going at it with his dad. And so then actually Billy walks in because he's looking for Victoria, and he kind of chimes in on what Nicholas is talking about. And he's trying to say, I know where you're coming from. I know, what you're feeling. And after Nicholas thinks about some of the things he said, he says, thank you in a sense. because he's in agreement with, you know, when does the pain stop? When do you get over it? So it is what it is. With that, we leave that scene. We go to Jack and Phyllis. Jack finds Phyllis at the athletic club. She's sitting at the bar, and he's kind of being nice, nasty to her, especially about her and Billy conspiring to get Victoria's company brash and sassy. And, you know, he knew she knew about it. You know, she didn't know he was going to actually act on it. But it was just the fact that she knew and didn't tell him. So, you know, pretty much Phyllis is almost like in her feelings. And she's almost saying, like, you know, if you're going to forgive me. But let's not drudge up old news. And she's basically telling Jack she wants another chance. He's basically saying, okay, you must have read my mind. Let's work on it. So that's the ideal of where you think they're going with it. But then there's a surprising turn of events towards the end of this episode. But we go to Adam and Victor. Adam done called himself moseying on down to that jailhouse, and he tears into Victor, because Victor thought he was going back after fooling with Jack. But then, as he was trying to get the guard to open up the door, like he was finished with all his visitors and he didn't want no more, that's when Adam strolls through the door, tearing into him, and saying, you know, Victor was the cause of Sage's dying, and she must have known that he was the father, meaning Adam. And why did Victor drop that dime and get that girl, you know, all hysterical and crazy trying to find him, and then having an accident? And Victor like, are you crazy? Are you absolutely lost your freaking mind? But we go to commercial. We come back from commercial, and we're actually back on Adam and Victor again. And Adam is expressing to Victor, the only people that knew about the paternity switch was me, you, and Chelsea. Okay, I know Chelsea ain't said nothing, so Daddy had to be you. Victor is telling Adam, you thought about family, and that, you know, pretty much how I would have thought about protecting family. So why would I, with you knowing that I want Nicholas to succeed and be my successor in case I don't make it, but even if I do die, I want Nicholas at the helm of Newman Enterprises, and I'm setting him up for that to take place by knocking his sister out the way, because she's good, but she ain't that good. I don't want her to run my company. That's this, that, and the other. That's how we're gonna roll with this now. Why would I put such a detriment on Nicholas and have him go through all that unnecessary grief? Are you making sense, son? Are you crazy? So he's pretty much really have solidified that no, it was not him. He would not do that to one of their family members. Even though they may want him to, you know, may cross his mind, he would not stoop that low to try to get somebody so upset that they would go find themselves to be putting themselves in danger and actually having a fatality, which was the end result of Sage. So he said, no, you got this monkey all wrong. You need to go find somebody else to blame, because it wasn't your old dad. I'm bad, but I ain't that bad. So we leave that situation. We go to Jack and Phyllis again. Jack is telling Phyllis he's the monster per her. So why would he believe anything that she was not involved with the brash and sassy sale and this, that, and the other? Phyllis told Jack again she wants to work on her marriage. So he's like, okay, I don't know, we'll try it, whatever. But we move over from there. We go to Billy and Nicholas. Nicholas is trying to listen to Billy reasoning. He's still hollering about sins of your father. That's why they're having all these bad things happen. He says it's a curse. We're going to do that before I leave. We're going to do this. I just started it. I watched 2 shows. You interrupted me. Let me move on. Okay. That was my daughter, y'all. She coming into the office trying to interrupt my taping. And she's doing a very good job. But anyway, we move on. Like I said, Nicholas is still hell-bent on there's a curse. And all the sins his father has caused throughout his legacy is all coming through a curse they put out there, because all their loved ones, all the ones they come to love, they end up perishing somehow or getting injured somehow, or they, you know, some type of harm has come. Maybe that wasn't a fatality, but it was just unreasonable hurt and pain. So let me see. Then that's when Victoria walks in and she sees Billy, and she's asking him, why is he here? Why are you here, man? You need to leave. So Billy is telling Victoria she only came over to see her And she found her brother there, and he's just really there to give both of them his condolences of Sage's death. And then she was like, "Okay, you said it. I heard it. Now, please be gone." And so that's when Nicholas jumps in. And he said, "Y'all need to stop this crap. Y'all need to just pull it together, get it together, because you see, I don't have my wife anymore. I can't love on her anymore. I can't ask her for her forgiveness for putting the company before her and all these other things. I'm asking y'all because I'm seeing the love between y'all. Don't let Dad come in between y'all because of this situation of Brash and Sassy. Y'all are two good people. At least y'all love each other. That's evident. Y'all have children together. Try to put the pieces back together." Honey, Victoria wasn't hearing none of that because she's still trying to have her little affair or fling, calling herself like in this new boat. So if he wasn't in the picture, she might have would have gave it a thought, but it is what it is. So Billy's like, "Okay, fine. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm moving on. To each his own. Peace, deuces." So we go on to Dylan and Sharon. Sharon came back downstairs to check to see if Paul has gone. He has gone. She's trying to question Dylan, what was said. Is Paul going to leave her alone? This, that, and the other. He gives her an answer. She's okay with it. Oh, excuse me, y'all. And then there's a there's a knock at the door. So she goes on to open up the door. She finds Chelsea at her door. Chelsea's just saying she's coming over to see how they both are doing regarding Sage's death. How's Nick doing? How's the family doing? Sharon goes on to say, everybody holding up. We're trying to get through it as best we can. Nicholas is not taking it so well, but Faith is so, she was over there. She was trying to comfort her dad, and his kids are there. We all trying to, get it together. But guess what? I heard that Dylan had told me, Paul told me that, you were the last person, or Alan was the last person that she was trying to reach. Do you know what any of that is about, Chelsea? And of course, Chelsea's like, why the hell for asking me stuff? I got a secret. I got to keep it. It got to go to my grave. Same thing with Sharon. She thinks she got a secret. She got to keep it, and it got to go to the grave. So we leave there. We go to commercial. We come back. We have Adam and Victor. Victor's telling, what sense does it make for him to tell Nicholas that Adam is the father of Christian? Nick is going to be his successor. Why would he want to cause Nicholas grief? He tries to reiterate it to his son to see if it's making any kind of sense to him. But Adam and Victor cut from the same cloth. They crazy. They have to be proven wrong before they can start thinking what's right. So we move from there. We go to Victoria and Nicholas. Nicholas is trying to talk some sense into Victoria. He's talking about saving her marriage. Nick is still saying it's a curse on their family because it just don't make no sense. And then Victoria goes on to say, no, he says, you want to blame everything. You can't do that. It is what it is, brother. So he's basically blaming himself again about he worked too much. He took too much interest in the business. And that's why he lost his wife. It's already on shaky ground as it is. But then, he didn't spend time with her. She had a miscarriage, and he just feel all bad inside. So anyway, pretty much he just went on and told Vicky, it's not a curse. You're right. It's you all. Y'all are being stubborn. And I'm just going to let it be at that. Okay, we move from there. We go to Phyllis and Billy. I don't know why Phyllis keep shaking her tail feather around Billy. It's almost like she's giving in to her temptation, or the sensation that the feelings that she has for Billy. Okay, I'm not understanding it because Billy having the same type of feelings for her. He gives in to those feelings. He grabs her and kisses her. She don't immediately release from that kiss. She savors it, and she's indulged in it for a little bit. Then she catches herself. Then she just calls herself looking at him, kind of disturbed. She knew she liked it. It was that, what do you call it? When Eve was told not to bite that apple in the Garden of Eden, but it looked so shiny, it was so tempting, and she took it. She bait it. She took the bait. She ate it. So now she's gonna come back. She's gonna come back to see some more of that tasty lips that Billy was giving her. Oh yes, she is. So she runs out the house, and pretty much she's kind of acting like she's a little ashamed, but she ain't ashamed. And you know, Billy, hell, he drunk, but he damn sure ain't ashamed. Okay, we go to commercial. We come back. We're with Sharon, Chelsea, and Dylan. Sharon is trying to drill Chelsea as Paul was trying to drill her about, you know, trying to find a connection here and there. Now, Sharon's called Miss Detective, and she's trying to find a connection of why Sage was trying to get in touch with Adam. And you know Chelsea ain't finna say that. She ain't finna say nothing. Okay? We go into the final and last scene. Victor is he's just distressed. He's just totally distressed. He done picked up his poetry book. As he's reading his poetry, and a little collage of people just goes across our screen of taking up some of the excerpts that he's reading from his poetry book. The first person it goes to is Adam. And all his you know, things, his secrets that have been played, and all the devastation he's caused since he's been in General City. Then it goes to Nick and Victoria. It talks about, like, you know, pretty much Nicholas been saying the sins of the father and his children having to have to take up the curse that has plagued them. Then it goes, you know, as far as love and family and all of that, and what do you do to gain power and greed. It's a lot of deception. It's a lot of lies. So it's like a story being told, and he's and it's affecting different parts of people that he's encountered with. Then we go to Jack. He's miserable. He has all the power, the fame, the popularity, but he doesn't have anybody, and his family is in wrecks because of his lies, his deceit, his disloyalty. Then it goes to Billy and Phyllis, like the ultimate betrayal of, you thinking somebody got your back, your family is supposed to love you, always have your back, but then they go around in secret and do things that's gonna come out, that they're doing in the dark, gonna come out to light. And it's gonna be of infidelity. It's gonna be more lies, more secret, more lust, more greed, more power, all of that. And he's, you know, reading the poetry, and it's very much so solidifying all the events that are going on. Then we talk about the forbidden you know, touches, the temptation that leads to Billy and Phyllis kissing, and she's kissing him back, and then, you know, she leaves. So it's almost like, you know, sometimes your family ends up destroying the very thing that you're trying to protect, which is the family unit. So that was very good. I understood it. The story was touching. The episode was on point. But y'all like, comment, subscribe. I love my comments. So please continue to watch my channel. But that was The Young and the Restless for Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. That showed Eastern Standard Time for me at 3 o'clock. Love you guys. I'll see you next time to do recap reviews on The Young and Restless tomorrow around the same time, same channel. Okay, guys, y'all take care. Blessings. Bye-bye.